Welcome back to the series where I tackle the world's most controversial game fish. Today, we'll be talking about a smaller species of game, quote, catfish, the bullhead. Now, I know there's a couple different species of bullhead, including the yellow, black, and brown bullhead. However, all these species of bullhead are very similar, only having minor differences. So, we'll kind of just be grouping them together. Either way, bullhead are typically viewed as a lesser catfish or even a rough fish. We'll be sure to go through their characteristics, why they are hated, and my thoughts of them. So without any more delay, let's just jump right into it. Bullhead are a member of the Ictaluridae family, which share many characteristics with the catfish family, but are slightly different. Both bullhead and catfish are members of the same order. Like most fish, they have a wide assortment of different names, including mudcats, river cats, pollies, pollywogs, and horned pout, pot? I don't know, that one's kind of a goofy name. Anyways, bullhead prefer to live in slower moving to still waters with muddy or clay bottoms. They can be commonly found in ponds, streams, and lakes. This is one of the ways they differ from catfish, as catfish usually prefer faster moving waters. Both bullhead species are not picky eaters, being a bottom feeder type fish. They will eat just about anything that will fit into their mouth, including plant material, smaller fish, insect larvae, frogs, snails, and other aquatic animals. Bullhead detect prey using their highly sensitive barbels, which they use to feel out food in the muddy waters. Bullhead in general, as mentioned previously, don't get quite as large as other catfish. The most common bullhead I encounter are brown bullhead, and their world record size caught is only 5.7 pounds, which is a pretty small world record, being honest. Other than that, bullheads such as the yellow and black bullhead have some larger world records, but they're not massive by any means either. Bullheads on average live between 5 to 10 years in the wild. However, in captivity, they can live much longer, up to 15 years. Some people out there genuinely think that these are a trash fish for a couple of different reasons. For one, while bullhead and catfish do often live in different habitats, that's not always the case. Sometimes in slower moving rivers, these two species of fish will coexist. In these cases, fishermen that are trying to target larger species of catfish may have fishing trips where they just get stuck, only catching a bunch of smaller bullhead. As I have found, bullhead are a much more aggressive feeder than other species of catfish. They will happily feed on corn, smaller dead bait, chicken liver, hot dogs, bread, pack bait, and anything else that people use to target other species of catfish. Nevertheless, some people have found this to be rather annoying, as catching one of these smaller bullhead is keeping the bait out of the water to attract and catch a monster catfish. Other than occasionally being a slight nuisance, bullhead also have an affinity to stab fishermen that aren't handling them properly, as bullhead are armed with sharp spines on their pectoral and dorsal fins, which they will shoot out if they feel threatened. These spines are painful and can easily pierce into flesh. These spines also have a mild venom that can cause irritable pain. Thankfully, it does not have long-term effects and is not dangerous. Nevertheless, those that have been stabbed by them know it's not a pleasant feeling by any means and should be avoided. Finally, many people don't like bullheads for their tenacity to stir up and muck up areas in the water. Like all bottom feeders, bullhead feed by sifting through the muddy substrate in search of food. This in turn pushes all of the sediment into the water column, reducing visibility. This can be a problem in certain areas, but overall this just seems like more of a minor nitpick by people and not a serious argument, especially since other bottom feeders do the exact same thing as well. Overall in my research, I have found that many people who don't like these fish simply just don't like them, and really don't have a good reason they point to. People who will leave them on the banks to die just don't like catching them, and will claim they compete with other more desirable species of fish. Thankfully though, leaving them on the bank is a lot less common than with other fish like the bowfin. I for one am a big fan of bullhead. As I've said, I pretty much exclusively have caught brown bullhead, as they're pretty much the most common bullhead found here in New York by a mile. And I've had a lot of fun with catching them. In fact, one of my earliest videos here on the channel was me going after bullhead with Brett. I've caught a lot of them on all sorts of things, including lures. In fact, I've found rooster tail spinners are a great way of catching bullhead in muddy waters. But I've also caught plenty of them on other things like the aforementioned bread, worms, and corn when I'm going for carp. Furthermore, bullhead play a pretty important role in waterways, being more of a panfish bottom feeder, if that makes any sense.
No.
See, the bullhead offer a great food source to larger predatory fish, including other catfish. Many people swear down that bullhead make some of the best flathead catfish bait around, which just goes to show you that they are an important source of food for some of the biggest, strongest fish out there. In terms of taste, people are pretty split between how they feel about bullhead meat. Some people think it's delicious, other people say it tastes like mud. I know many of you will love their taste, you guys freaking eat everything. But something else I like about these fish are the fact that they actually make good parents, which is something pretty uncommon in the fish world. I know some fish like bowfin and snakehead will also protect their young, but fish just protect the eggs usually and will happily feed on the fry once they hatch. So I don't know, I think it's cool that they do that. In general, bullhead are fun to catch, play an important role in the biodiversity in our waterways, and are genuinely a pretty cool species of fish. Yes, they can be annoying, and yes, you do have to be careful when handling them, but you could say that about a lot of other species of fish. So I don't think they deserve to be viewed as a trash fish. So, what do you think of the bullhead? Are they a trashy catfish, or do you enjoy them like I do? Let me know your thoughts down below. Bullhead aren't nearly as controversial as some of the fish we've already covered and will continue to cover as we progress through the series, but I still thought they were worth giving them an episode, and plus you guys voted for them, so your wish is my command. Next up will be the Round Goby, so stay tuned for that. And on top of that, after that episode is done, we'll do another poll to see the order of which 4 fish will be added to the series. So be sure to let me know what fish you'd want to see covered in the future. Anyways, I'll see all of you in the next video. Take care.